The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Same group as yesterday's show. We got Brian Frangie.
Hello.
We got Sean O'Connor.
Wearing the same clothes.
Woohoo! We got Noah in Arizona.
Yep.
And we got my mother, Julie Glaser.
Thank you, Nikki.
Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Speaking of clothes, so we didn't really talk too much about like the details of the parties yesterday, but I want to know how Julie felt getting glam, because she was all glammed up.
I know I got her hair and makeup done by my friend Leia, who got that necklace from Richard Simmons.
Yeah. She did a great job.
She really did.
Actually, I'm not used to getting glammed, so I was kind of looking in the mirror going, I don't know.
Yeah, she freaked out at first because we don't have mirrors right in front of us, which we're used to having when you're getting your glam done. So you can kind of slowly see your face turn into this face you don't recognize because it's so much hotter than your normal face. And she also did your makeup in a different way because you've just been winging it for 50
I don't
plus
even know
years
how
of
to
doing
put makeup on.
Yeah, you don't at all. Still
No.
at this age, even though you wear it all the time.
Right.
So you,
I need to get a lesson
no, but
for
we
sure.
all have the way we do our eyebrows.
No, it's
and we
just
all have the way we do
easy,
our,
whatever. I don't do a lot.
And so she gave my mom eyebrows, and eyebrows change your face so much that I think my mom was just like shocked at first.
Well, no,
which
actually,
often happens.
She didn't give me dark enough eyebrows.
Oh, that's right. But they went too far down the sides. She like, drew them down the sides, and you didn't like that.
Yeah,
but
and I mean, it was a lot for my face. And then my hair was like glued to my head.
Yeah, she did.
Which I don't normally
But that's why I kept telling, like, that's why I gave you Leia, because it's really nice to have a hair and makeup person that, or anyone that doesn't take it personally when you tell them
No,
there's
she
things
wasn't.
that you don't
I
like.
was kind of like, can we do? And she said, oh yeah.
And she shot it to you straight of like, we can't do that.
Yeah, we can't
In
fix
some
that.
circumstances.
You don't have any hair.
No,
she didn't
No,
say
she's
that.
very nice, but I think you looked so awesome.
Oh, and I made my outfit.
My mom made her outfit. So the night of the DNC, during like the big night of the DNC, we were watching on the couch, and I got a text from my mom right after Michelle Obama's speech that was like, I'm making that outfit. What do you think? And she loved it so much that she was like, I'm going to make it. And you weren't even planning to go to the Emmys at that point with me yet. You were just making it for your life.
No, I just wanted to make it. And then you gave me this opportunity to like wear it. I'm like, I'm making it.
You nailed
for
it
sure.
too. And
I don't know if
how did you make it?
So anyway, what it is,
besties, pull up Michelle Obama.
It's made by this company, these
speech.
designers, Monse, Monse, and they're just really cool designers. I looked it up and I'm like, wow, I love their statement. It's to kind of taking a man's suit and taking it apart and just kind of feminizing it,
deconstructing
it.
A men's blazer,
suit. An actual suit.
And then there's you had the belt.
Yeah, I made the belt.
Yeah, it was like a vest suit that was like, it was really cool.
It was actually a jacket. I took the sleeves off and
you
then
did a great job.
Made a belt.
You kept saying that Dad would be commenting on, she's worked probably 60 hours on that.
No, well, I was taking time away from him.
Oh, right.
He's like, well, you're like 30 hours into that. And I'm like, that's not true.
It's like,
but
you play guitar like for 30 hours.
I finally have a project that I'm excited about.
No.
He doesn't like what
not
I
on
bought.
Dad's time.
No, you're messing up
your own
things.
interests. Yeah, no.
My meals aren't on the table at the right time.
Because you're in the other room sewing your way to democracy.
No, it was fun. I had fun making it.
Yeah.
It looked great.
It was so cool.
To the point, I feel like if Michelle Obama saw it, like you could just become her new designer.
I was hoping she was going to be here. But
you also, Dad reminded me last week that you saw J-Lo's dress to the Oscars in 1999 or 2000, and you recreated that because my parents used to get invited to the Cannes Film Festival for, I think, in 2000 and 2001.
3 years in a row.
Okay. I remember one year I was in a car crash and you guys weren't.
2000,
what was
2001.
the purpose, cause of the invite?
Well, my husband, Nikki's father, worked in the cable business, and it was a gift.
Dear friend of Harvey Weinstein.
Bravo used to take.
They go way
used
back.
to take us.
But we don't talk about that, so we say her story. But my dad and Harvey Weinstein used to be old chums. No,
he might have been there.
When I think of Cannes early 2000s, I think of rape Harvey Weinstein stories.
Yeah, that was his reign of terror
Yeah.
period.
It really was.
I think of that too. I think that's probably the time.
Yeah,
saw
you
him
did
around
not
there.
want to be a masseuse on
No.
House of Friends.
My
No.
God.
No. But we would see
disgusting.
major
Or
stars.
or the most famous young actress
Yes.
that seems to need no one's help to get ahead. If you don't want to be that person either. Anyway,
Who's the other guy, the Italian guy who also from that era molested people
the guy
or something?
who
the director?
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
his name?
Oh
Come
God,
on.
you know this.
Wade.
The director that's been
He's got
not
a
Woody Allen,
famous
No.
but
child,
the guy.
right?
Yeah, he.
What's his name?
Polanski or
Oh, yeah, Roman Polanski.
Roman
Yeah.
Polanski, yes.
Okay,
yeah, there's
okay.
issues with him too.
Yeah, so
Yeah, but
I
his
haven't delved into
issues.
Yeah.
Listen, his wife died.
good one.
Wait, someone was just talking about how. Oh, I was on Bill Maher's podcast again, and he was talking about how Charlie Chaplin was like famous,
For being
Marrying children.
like famously
Yeah, I think
went
I've
after
heard
like 12-year-olds, and I
Yeah.
go, Bill, I haven't heard, like, I'm pretty well aware of cultural moments like that where it's like broken open, like this isn't who we thought it was. How did I miss that one? That one's still buried.
Yes. Oh my God. Like.
I assume you know about it because you are plugged in.
Yeah,
but
like I'm like that is like one of my only
you-
obsessions. Is
but
like old comedy.
old pedophiles.
Yeah,
Oh,
old
yeah. Wait, it kind of is mine. I'm fascinated by. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
what
are.
the fuck, these weirdos. So yeah, Charlie Chaplin. I haven't gotten into it. I just was anecdotal from Bill over the weekend, but I couldn't believe it. Did you know that?
no one talks about it.
Did you know that, Mom?
Well, I think I heard that. Didn't he marry someone
But then
very
he-
young?
Well, yeah, his last wife, I think.
Maybe it was his last wife.
Una Chaplin or Una O'Neill was
She's-
Eugene O'Neill's daughter,
And
he
she just
met her
turned
when-
37, right?
Yeah. He met her when she was like 11.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Disgusting.
Yeah, they gloss over that.
Dude, I just, that's so
Well,
crazy to me.
I met your father when I was 4.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to open up a whole thing. Yeah,
No, but
my
it was
dad's-
very innocent.
Yeah, because my dad was best friends with her older brother.
Wow.
He did give me a
And my dad's a
guitar
pedophile.
lesson.
Oh, yeah, and that part too.
Oh yeah, that part too.
Yeah,
Forget it.
He was 30, but no. How much older is dad than you?
He's 4.5 years.
Oh, yeah, so he was nine when he met you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so
Yeah.
I'm older than Allie by like 5 years.
Do you ever notice the age gap there? Like, is there
No,
any
because
time
she's a by far youngest sibling in a 3-sibling where she had 2 much older siblings.
So,
she's all in
by
on
osmosis.
everything.
Oh yeah, she was
Your
hip
age.
to
Yes,
everything.
exactly.
She really is.
Yes.
Like, that'll do it.
She's like
like an
best
old
friends with
soul.
her older brother
Yeah.
and her older sister, and they would just hang and talk about Smash Mouth or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
was
she
popular.
was plugged into
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
older generation. That's a really good point. How about what's the age gap for you and Aaron?
She's a year older than me. I've
perfect.
never dated somebody who is younger than me.
Interesting.
Oh,
Actually, that's not true. I did date this girl who was a year younger than me, and when she broke up with me, she told me the reason why she was breaking up with me is I was too young for her.
There you go.
Wait, she was.
funny.
That's a good point. Like, do you think you're attracted to like women who are, but like, a year older is your age?
I mean, yeah, I know, but we're constantly just mocking her for being a year
Yeah,
older.
yes.
Like my son and I.
Oh,
Are
yeah.
just, you know, like we're ageist in our house.
I do like that Chris is older than me. Like, it does feel like, okay, like there's something to it. Like, just knowing you have more life than someone else.
I
ahead
thought
of
you guys were
But
the
that's
same
not even-
age until his birthday.
But I do feel cool because I'm always like, I'm a sophomore dating a senior. I like put it back to that, and then suddenly I'm the coolest girl. Like, he was a cool guy senior too.
Yeah,
I'm like,
sure.
oh my God, I was a dorky sophomore and I got the cool guy senior.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's still like a cool guy senior.
He
Like,
is. He is.
like he
has
likes
that vibe.
cars. I'm like, this is so cool.
Yeah, he
I've never
does.
met anyone like
And
that.
F1, yeah, he's into F1. He knows a lot about. Yeah, he is a cool guy. But so yeah, your look was awesome. Did you have fun at the parties?
So much fun.
What were some highlights?
I guess I was, well, first of all, I got to eat caviar.
Oh.
Oh, did you get a caviar bump?
a couple of them.
Yeah.
They do it. You're right when you say bump.
They do it as a bump
Yeah, they
now.
do it
It's
like,
just,
yeah.
like-
You lick on your hand and
You just
What?
they put it on.
It's
they
this
put
new
it right in your
thing.
Oh my
hand.
God.
Yeah.
It's become very popular in LA of doing caviar bumps because I think
Oh my
everyone
God.
But
is
Carrie-
outgrowing cocaine. So now
So
they're
this is the new decadent thing. That
I
you're
guess
like,
that
okay.
makes sense. It was delicious. It was really good caviar. I love caviar. But the other thing was that no napkins. It's like I just licked my hand
Yeah, that's
and I
pretty
had caviar
gross.
all over my face. Both bumps.
Yeah, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, no-
they make you
no
lick your
napkin.
hand and then they put
Yeah.
fish eggs on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
no,
the
And that's
other-
because of cocaine?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be like,
This
look
is why
at us,
people
we're-
hate Hollywood.
I know. It really
That's
is.
why people hate
But
Hollywood.
listen, the child sex room wasn't.
That
it was empty.
and
it was empty.
It couldn't find it. Yeah, it was tucked away. Good
What else?
vibe in there though. It was empty. It was just empty. The karaoke room was empty.
And then it got
When I discovered it, my mom and I went on so we were at the San Vicente Bungalows, which is actually where
Oh,
Carlisle
yeah.
Forrester, who has been on the show
Yeah.
before, who's Girls Chat, good friend, she works there, and she was like, "I got your table tonight," and she was like, "It's gonna be so fun, and you're sitting next to Conan, and you're sitting next to all the comedians. It's gonna be a great time." And we got there late because we went to Netflix first because
And
there's a
this
bunch
is
of parties that you
HBO?
just jump around to. Yeah,
Yeah.
this was HBO. And then we got there and we sat down. It was really fun. We had she brought us over a tray of all these delicious food. Good vibe. It's kind of like a gardeny type hang situation. It's kind of
Oh.
smaller party. The other parties are big, almost warehouses or sound stages that have a DJ and everyone's walking around this big space. So this is low ceilings.
Intimate, like a courtyard.
Courtyard.
Yeah.
Yes. Packed
feeling.
in.
Yeah.
And we sat at that table for a minute. Any highlights?
Yeah, John
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was nice.
Leguizamo?
Oliver?
Oliver.
Okay.
God, sorry, I had a mind slip there.
No.
Was so cute. We're just standing there talking, and I saw him look over here, and I'm like, he's coming over here. He's coming. He's dragging his wife over. I mean, he went through bushes to get over to Nikki, and he said, I just want to.
I just turned around because Chris taps me. I was like, hey, and I thought he's just going to show me introduce me to someone. I just turned, it's John Oliver right next to me. He's like, I just want to say, great job, and it's great to see you. So nice. And I was
my
like,
God, I love it.
Congratulations, I loved your speech. And his wife, I was obsessed with his. I was
Gorge.
staring at his wife
Yeah.
during the Emmy show, being like, she's the prettiest girl ever. And so I got
Beautiful.
to tell her, I was obsessed with how gorgeous she looked. I'm sure you have more to offer the world, but that's all I saw when they were cutting to you. And and they were both
She's
so
an
nice.
Iraq war veteran.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he met her when she was a medic.
Which side?
She was America.
Wait, yeah, tell me how they met because it's an interesting
He
story.
was filming something with
For The Daily Show?
Yeah, for the Daily Show,
Yeah.
and then they were getting in trouble, so she hid them.
I love it so
from
Oh my
the general or
God.
something. I don't.
So
I
cool.
don't know how the army works.
That is
That's
a
a
Seth
great-
Rogen,
And then they fell
Charlize
in love.
Theron type movie.
Yeah, they got-
That's
Um,
a great story.
That was a great speech, though. That was funny and touching. And
Yeah.
He
then
talked about his dog,
Yeah.
who just recently passed, and,
And
it
then
was
he brought it out to all dogs.
Then he said, "Yeah, I want to
really
just
cute.
shout out to all dogs. You are
He's-
good girls. You are good boys. Good night. We love you." It was just
Yeah,
so
that's amazing.
sweet.
I
They
used to
are.
be a fan of his big time, but super fan now.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was so
He's
nice of him
amazing.
because he had way more important people to talk to at that party, and we have only met. I think I'm trying to think of maybe once since he did a thing with Nikki and Sarah live on MTV where his show had just come out. I think they were actually just writing it, and we drove to his studio. We did this bit where it was before Me Too, but we were trying to touch as many celebrities as possible, it was without them noticing. It was.
yeah. So was Harvey Weinstein.
I know. This was my reign of terror. I was uncomfortable with it the whole time, but we never were sexually touching people. But we would not do this bit now. Anyway,
Yeah.
we were doing a bit where we were running around town trying to get, and John
And you
Oliver
had a
came
little
out.
mustache and a bowler hat. And you were
Yeah. And so, we were on a budget for that wardrobe department, and they had also done Band of Brothers. So, is that the right word? So anyway, we had him act like he was hailing a taxi outside of his office, and then we ran up to it was like us pretending to go on this quest to get as many famous people. But he did that, and I remember thinking it's so cool that he just did this dumb moment with two comedian girls he's never heard of for sure at this point. And he's tirelessly working on this thing, and he just did this thing like that he easily could have said no to, and no one would have cared at all, and it would have been the easiest. It was just so nice, and I think that was like the last time I talked to him, but that was really nice.
He couldn't wait. I could see him.
Yeah, he was like
zip line.
Oh my God,
his way.
I have to ask Carlisle for that.
It was great.
Because like I'm like a Hawkeye at those parties for famous people, and I saw him, and he's like, he's walking this way. He's walking this way. Who's it gonna be?
So exciting. That was
like,
so nice.
He's
Get out of the way, Guy Branum.
That was good.
He's been a fan for a long time, because I remember at one point during Not Safe, like it was brought up that John Oliver was a fan of the show.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
See, I like black out these moments
Yeah.
because it's too much for me, and I feel like they actually don't support my story, that I tell myself that I'm a fraud, and so I think I eliminate them from my memory in a way to preserve the story I'm telling myself about myself.
Sure.
I guess that's because I always forget when people have said nice things. Almost always.
Yeah.
It does not stick in my head. People have to remind me. Remember this? That's why I said I don't remember if I've met him since, because if I did, he was probably nice, and I would probably just put it away because it's too much. Like when I met Larry David for the second time and said, "Nice to meet you," and he says, "We've met before," and I didn't remember meeting him the first time because
he remembered.
Yes.
Wow.
And I didn't remember. Of course, I remembered as soon as he said it, but like I had blocked it out because it's just too much to have met him.
It's
say
crazy.
He's a fan.
It's just crazy to be a fan for your whole life and then somebody know who you are.
Yeah.
Wow, that is crazy. And I mentioned it that way.
I just have to say, like, I have a treatise, I guess, to give about forgetting things, okay? If you forget someone's name or you can't remember a face, no matter who it is, it's not your fault. No one chooses to forget things. I mean, there are things you can do to maybe remind yourself of something if it's like important, but like I have to let myself off the hook for not knowing things.
You remember everyone's names.
That is not true at all.
I feel like
I had my screen on dim for every single party I went to because I was Googling very famous people's name to double check that I had their name right in the first place. And I forgot people that I've
Last
worked
night?
with. No, this is over the course of the weekend. Yes, probably last night. There were a couple moments. Yeah, there was one moment where there was a woman who hugged me and talked to me in a way that I knew we had an intimacy of having worked together before very closely.
Yeah.
Could not place her name, could not place where she works, what she does, anything. But I knew she had a real moment with me. And
You're not meant to know this many people. You know so many people.
It's not my fault, though. Like, I can't be like, oh, I'm so dumb for forgetting. Like, I would remember it if I could. Like I did,
of course.
Because I think people get offended when you don't remember them, and it's like I didn't choose to forget you. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean anything.
Well, it's also like one of these things where, like, to me, like if I've like met like Tom Hanks or something, like to me that is a pivotal moment in my life.
Yes.
And to Tom Hanks, I was just like a guy who was like, when you go out there, like hit this mark. Of course, he's not going to remember me.
Yes.
But then like. I'm not going to get offended by that, but some people do get offended by that. Like,
I saw a girl the other night, and I don't think I said this on the podcast the other day, but it happened previous to the podcast. I was talking about, like, there was a green room situation recently that was uncomfortable, and there was a person who said to Dane Cook as he walked in, "Hey, I haven't seen you since 2007.
Oh.
You don't remember me, do you?"
Oh God!
I'm like, do you think Dane Cook 2007 remembers any? He probably has a Guinness World Records of having met the most people in a year for that year of his life.
Of course, that was like peak Dane Cook.
Yes.
His wife wasn't even born yet.
You don't remember me, do you? Have you ever?
That's just brutal.
Besties, I know you wouldn't say that, but let's never say that sentence ever, because has that ever worked out for someone?
No.
Because either the person's forced to lie to you, which you don't want, or they just feel bad, and you're like, back to the shame thing. You're like shaming them.
That's
No, of course
that's a
I remember
no-win
you.
statement.
You were that asshole that I tried to forget.
Yeah. I think the general rule of thumb is just always say nice to see you again.
Yeah.
That's
well,
I
it.
disagree
Hollywood,
with that. I just think be honest and say nice to meet you. And if they say we've already met, then that's fine too. And you go, oh, I'm so sorry. Just let's all be honest and let's all let people off the hook for not remembering us, no matter who you are. Everyone. If you can't forgive other people for forgetting you, then you deserve everyone to expect you to remember everyone. And that's not fair. You want people to forgive you. You can't be bitchy when someone doesn't remember you, no matter how many times they met, because they might have a brain disease or something. Like, it's not their fault they don't remember you.
I 100% agree with what you're saying in an ideal world, but for someone like me, it's like if I have to say it's good to see you again, because the risk of them being an asshole and then holding it against,
greater.
it's just too great.
Nice to see you is just the way to get away in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
It sounds like you could have met before, but it also could sound like it's the first time you met. It covers both.
Yeah.
I'm using it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm abusing it.
We'll be back after this. All right, guys, it's nice to see you. We're back.
So you went to 3 parties?
First night was supposed to go to 3, went to 1 because just got out late, and then it was a nice hang. Second day, brunch.
What was the first one?
The first one, Hollywood Reporter on Friday
Hollywood
night.
Reporter. They had the nice pool. It was the rented house that had
Chris Hardwick hung out with us all night long because he also didn't. We both didn't really have anyone with us, so we hung out with Chris Hardwick for like 2 hours, which is so awesome. Because
At midnight was across the lot from Not Safe when we were
Yes, it
recording.
was, and I used to do that show constantly. Chris Hardwick is a big part of my I think emergence as a quippy comedic force.
Sure.
He's so quick. He's so quick,
and he's such a generous laugher.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's just people along your career that like have laughed hard at you on TV or told the audience at home that you got a standing ovation. Like these, Kevin Hart saying that gave me a huge boost that night.
Yes.
Even though what he was just saying, what happened, it helped. In a way that people don't understand.
You were blessed by the king.
Yes.
Yeah.
Him just saying that was a huge deal for my career, and it was a pivotal moment. Like my set was a pivotal moment, but him saying that was even, I would say, more crucial to that moment.
Yep.
And then Chris Hardwick always just like laughing at my jokes so well on At Midnight, or making a big deal of them, or like, that kind of stuff. Sean and I were just talking about like good laughers do so much for your career. Like in the right place. So yeah, Chris Hardwick, we hung out with him all night, and who else did I meet there? The George Lopez's daughter was really nice. Mayan Lopez, and then
Cool name.
Yeah,
Mayan?
Mayan Lopez.
Like Mayan?
Yeah.
Wow, I love
Is she
that.
a comic?
Yeah, she wants to do stand-up, but her dad, George Lopez,
have a
they have a show
show.
called Lopez versus Lopez.
Yes.
Oh,
She came
okay.
up, she's a big fan.
Okay.
And then it was
I remember
really,
Lopez
really nice.
versus Lopez.
I saw Lily sing, and I dropped your name. And
yeah.
She
Up
loves you
late?
so much.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
yeah,
Up
she
late?
looked amazing.
Up late. Yeah. I mean, come on. Yeah.
She's a style icon.
She has like her own
Yeah.
definite, like, she has a look that like she is kind of nailed.
Yeah, she's one of the prettiest people. Like, she's so pretty. Anyway, nice to talk to her. And then, and then we had a brunch on Saturday.
So this is a officially sanctioned brunch?
Yeah, the BAFTAs.
Oh, the BAFTAs.
British Arts and Film
nice.
Television Academy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what,
yeah.
they're like
It was
just
like a
drafting
tea.
off of the Emmys, or is this the same weekend they're doing the
I think it was-
BAFTAs?
I don't really know it was just another place to do.
So where was the brunch?
Red carpet interviews, and the brunch was at the Mayborn in Beverly Hills.
A hotel. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was like in this garden area during the day. I saw the actor and actress from Colin from Accounts, which is a really good show. Do you like that show?
Yeah, I started watching it on
It's
a
great.
plane, and I'm like,
It's cute
this
as
is
fuck.
good.
Yeah. I was
They're
really excited to see
married,
them.
which I like.
So cute. Love it.
Yeah.
Love to see a couple be their kind of coupley dynamic
Yeah.
in the show.
Sidebar: the show that won for best show or whatever at the
Yeah.
Emmys, Old Horses or Slow
Horses.
Has anyone watched that? Because I haven't heard of
I
it.
has.
I love Slow Horses.
Okay, so this is something I should
It
watch.
won.
Yes.
It won.
It won Best Writing for a drama. It is a straight up comedy. It has so many more
Really?
jokes than the Bear.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's written by a Veep guy. Like
Yeah, the Veep guy. His name is Will
Say
Smith.
Will
No,
Smith.
more.
Will
Oh,
Smith.
Will Smith, the Veep guy. Okay.
And then Will
And-
Smith had a great joke. He
He
said,
had the greatest
Yeah.
joke because we
Yeah.
were all thinking it.
"Yes,
yeah,
yes."
that's
it's
right.
so great.
was the
If you-
joke?
If you,
I don't know. He just referenced like.
yeah, he's like,
We loved that
He
joke.
referenced that we all were a little bit nervous as Will Smith was
Right.
approaching the stage.
Yeah.
And then he got up there and it wasn't.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
slap anybody.
If you've
something
never
like that.
watched it, picture James Bond. It's the MI6, and this is like the rejects of the MI6, and they all have like just desk jobs. And Gary Oldman is just
What's MI6? What?
It's like the CIA of England.
Oh, okay.
And like they're all just terrible spies.
Okay.
And then
that's what Slow Horses is about.
Yeah, and Gary Oldman is
I thought it was a country like cowboy thing.
No,
Slow Horses is not a good name.
Not a good name.
I would watch the show you're describing. I would watch the show you're describing, and I did not have any interest in Slow Horses.
It's not a good name. I said the same thing. It's like it does not grip me.
Slough horses.
Yeah, it's Slow Horses,
it's even worse.
It's set in Slough. That's where their office is.
I still don't even know what you're saying.
So they're like,
okay,
that confuses and upsets me. But now I'm going to watch it.
Off, they're no longer like in the field. But then
I'm definitely going to love this.
It's so fun.
I thought I had to watch horses.
No.
People on horses.
I thought it was like Yellowstone ripoff or something.
No, Gary Oldman's disgusting in it. He doesn't wear makeup. He has like long, greasy hair, and he just like farts and burps. And,
amazing!
Them. Like,
well, that makes me want
I honestly think that I was not going to watch it because I honestly don't like watching animals on shows because they can't consent to it, and they're just it's like babies too, where I'm just like that baby just wants its mom, and it's like looking around for its mom, and like you can't explain to a baby like, no, you're making your mom money right now that she's going to steal from you.
Your mom carried you for 9 months for $500.
That's how I met your mother scene. That is, and that's how I feel about like animals. I'm always just like, they don't want to be there. They don't understand this.
Yeah.
I can't watch that Chimp Crazy thing. I just don't want to see any animals on camera.
Give me a break.
Unless they're being cute and comfortable.
Chimp Crazy, I watched the first 2 episodes and I felt so bad watching it.
Yeah, no.
Get this. My mom hired the woman from Chimp Crazy to come to my sister's birthday when she was 7.
What?
My sister just placed it.
You had the chimp?
Yes,
There's a chimp in our house for Lauren's birthday.
Oh,
for my sister's
God.
birthday, because this was before we understood animal cruelty.
I had
like,
no
one knew in the 90s. This was 1990s 4.
At that time we were still had like shows on TV with like chimps with peanut butter in their mouth, like acting like they're talking.
Yes. So, I mean, this was
but
very
everybody
commonplace.
held this chimp. He got
that could have ripped off anyone's face from their skull.
Well, it was a baby. It was a little
little chimp baby.
It was
so the mother was somewhere crying and ripping someone's face.
Yeah, probably the mother was somewhere.
They remember.
Oh,
and they grow up.
Now I feel bad.
Things get wild.
Oh, yeah. Because the second episode focuses on, remember the lady who got her face ripped off?
I've read everything there is. No, that documentary can tell me anything that I haven't seen.
They have like interviews with all of her friends, the chimp owner, because it was like her friend who got her face ripped off. It's gnarly.
I think I've seen pictures from it.
I remember all that. Yeah.
But they show like the chimp when he was like a baby and he was like so fun and like going to parties for people.
Yeah.
And then
oh my God, it could have been that chimp.
It could have been.
And then when her
No, it wasn't. I know it wasn't because I remember that story.
When the owner's husband died, the chimp became so depressed. He started overeating and he gained like 200 pounds.
Whoa.
And they have all these pictures of him just like looking like my 700-pound wife.
Oh, no.
And then he ripped somebody's face off.
Yeah,
oh, my God.
Jesus
no one
Christ.
should be surprised. But yeah, that chimp was Lauren. I go, Lauren, how did you... She's like, I'm watching Chimp Crazy. This woman came to my 7th grade birthday. I'm like, how did you remember that? She was like, I just remember... She remembered that day so well, and she remembered the woman.
I got to watch it because I remember
you
the
booked
woman.
her.
Yeah.
I booked her.
Come on, pivotal moment of your life. For the chimp, he's not going to remember.
I loved that party. I was like, this is the coolest party.
That birthday party you gave? Yeah. I mean, there was a chimp
For
there.
7th grade?
The scariest part was one of the neighbor girls, we thought she might have measles. And she was like...
You were scared to give the monkey measles?
Yes.
Oh.
I was afraid that maybe Rose was going to give the baby. So I'm like, you can't hold the chip.
I remember there was a lot of anxiety around something that day.
They're like, you can't
Not
have
the fact that there was a
chimp that might rip off.
Against its will being placed into children's laps.
Listen, what did I know?
Did it have a diaper on?
For sure. So cute. So inappropriate.
Oh my
Please,
God.
Everyone, just a reminder to everyone, animals do not want to be pet. They don't go to petting zoos, don't go to birthday, don't involve your kids in anything where there's a pet being paraded around. Like it doesn't want to be there. It's not its job. Pets are not. I mean, even pets, like it's like they're kind of our slaves, and people have a problem with that.
What do you
and
feel
I can't
about
go that
people
far, but
who dress their pets up It drives me crazy.
You know, if it looks uncomfortable, I hate it. But if it like is because sometimes I've put, Marion in a little coat and she is cold because she's used to being in, she's like.
Not that. I mean like costumes.
Yeah, no.
Like it's a bee.
Halloween
If it's a little annoying, I'm like, whatever. But if it's like really hurts the animal and trying to get it off and it's like, stay, I don't care. But that's interesting.
I follow one dog on Instagram named Popeye the Foodie, and he wears these little darling bow ties.
Aww.
And like,
is he a French bulldog or something?
no, he's just like a little Yorkie, and he has like a little bow tie, and then they just go to like upscale restaurants, and every restaurant feeds him.
Okay, that's
At the
fine.
table?
If it looks like he's having fun.
Oh, he's having a ball. I love Popeye. Like
the alternative, like if someone is like, I will only adopt a dog if I can dress it up. The alternative is that it stays in the shelter.
I guess those are the two.
That Brian,
the lesser of two.
Yeah, bring it down.
evils. But I even saw this weekend there was like some famous hippo that's going around. Like there's a baby hippo, and everyone's laughing.
Meeting, yeah.
Everyone's laughing.
Wow.
I didn't look into it because immediately all I saw was like, this little hippo looks constantly stressed, and I go, wonder why? Because it is. If an animal looks stressed, possibly like everyone's laughing about how it looks like a human's emotion of stress, I guess.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not its emotion.
That's what
but
it
I
is.
was like, it's probably because it's under stress because it's an internet star right now.
Martha Kelly tweeted like a picture, 3 pictures of Moo Dang, I think is his name, just screaming, and she's like, when he's not screaming, he's biting. It's like he doesn't want this.
Like when your dog is smiling, it's thirsty. Mm-hmm. Your dog isn't happy. Its mouth is open because it needs water. And it's like that, like any kind of video where there's a little dog. We've talked about this before. It bears mentioning again. Like on Instagram, do not like things that are accounts that seem to be like a bunch of baby animals put together, like that found each other naturally.
God.
Those animals are often sedated so that they can get little, the doggy is sleeping with the chickie. Those animals are not being handled by people who give a fuck about them. They are just trying to monetize these animals. No. They literally care less about those animals than maybe anyone. Like the idea that they're allowed, they seem like they're presenting like, look how cute this is. I'm creating this content because I love them. They care less about them than anyone. So please don't spread those around. Don't like them. They're really, really bad. And even I didn't know about that until I saw one thing and even if it's not, just don't risk it. Let's not even encourage people to get animals to make those
I wouldn't
videos.
encourage anyone to do anything on the internet, honestly.
Don't like anything anymore. What if we all just stopped liking
A
things?
general strike on liking things?
Wait, that would be nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting thing.
It's about time we took our lives back. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Don't encourage anything.
I do want to clarify on the dog. If the dog is smiling, it's not necessarily thirsty. It might just be hot.
Yes.
So don't feel bad if your dog doesn't drink some water that you give it if it's smiling.
My dog never does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It'll turn down water all day long. I'm trying to give it, and then it gets to the venue where all my friends are, and it's like looking around, and they put down a bowl of water, and it starts drinking like it's never drank before. Like I've been starving it all day, and I'm sure moms deal with that with their kids, of like their kids eating a lot suddenly in front of other people.
Nikki, don't you give her water?
Yeah, every single time. To the point that now I go, you guys, she's gonna drink a ton, and I promise you, look at me. I just tried to feed her, so I show them because it's so embarrassing every time.
Wait, didn't you say that when dogs yawn, that their anxiety?
It's like helping them have like less anxiety.
Oh, that's good.
I do that.
Yeah.
I do that.
Because it's your sympathetic nervous
It does.
system.
You're like resetting a little bit.
Yeah.
Man.
Like if you smile, it's like supposed to make you happier. If you yawn, it like tells your body like, oh, it's maybe time to calm down. But the best way to calm down, I found when I'm like really like feeling is take a deep breath, hold it for 4 seconds, and then let it out slowly.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good.
And that's one that won't make your, like, sometimes you hold it, sometimes they say 9 seconds, and I'm like, that starts to make you feel like I'm going to pass out. 4 seconds is just long enough.
Yeah, it becomes very long, 9 seconds. Where I'm like, can I just die from this?
You know.
Talk about anxiety.
So you're at this brunch?
Yeah.
So is the food was it like a buffet style?
No, we were actually really disappointed because we thought it was going to be like a brunch. Like we're going to make plates and there's going to be, you know, and a tray that you lift up like that with eggs in it.
Yes,
no,
yes,
Chris likes his food.
It was just finger foods, and it was like British crumpet
Oh,
thing.
man.
Is there
It
sitting?
was- no,
Are
it
you
was all
sitting at any
standing.
tables?
It was all standing in like a courtyard in like a grassy area. So we saw some comedians. We didn't stay there long. I met a guy who met Taylor Swift, and so we talked about him meeting Taylor Swift, and that was fun. And then another guy came up to us, and he wanted to meet Chris because he saw me and he recognized me from the roast, and he said, "I wanted to see the guy that you're with because that guy is special."
Wow,
And I thought that was really
that's
cool.
interesting.
He was like, I wanted to meet her, obviously, but I really want to meet. I saw you put your hand on her back, and I was like, oh, that's her boyfriend. Like, what's that guy like? He must be
Wait,
secure.
who said this?
This guy that invented the technology that James Cameron bought to. He ended up
For
buying the company
Weta?
for Avatar.
Yeah, Weta. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Really?
my God.
Yeah, he invented it.
Wow.
And so he was there. He was like used to be on the board of BAFTAs or something, but he was just he was a really nice
know
guy.
this?
Taught me the origin of why we call American football football. Do you know?
No.
Wait, what? Why do we call football football?
Why do we call it football?
I don't know.
It's really interesting, actually. I mean, not really, but rugby. There's rugby football is a kind of rugby, I guess, or maybe
Yeah.
that's just what they call rugby over there. And obviously, football is like rugby. You can't toss forward. You can only, or
can
like
only
no, you
do
can't
the
go
laterals.
back. You can only go laterals. Okay,
Yeah.
something like that. But they invented our football, and they were like, but we can go forward. So it's like rugby, but it's different. And we want to call it rugby because it's essentially like rugby, but we can't do that. So we'll take the other word that is in their name, rugby football, and they just took football.
Wow.
Because it was based off of rugby football, but they couldn't take.
And
the
then
name
meanwhile,
rugby.
in Europe, they already have football.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, to just confuse matters more.
Yes.
That also has to do with why first downs and touchdowns are called those things
Wait,
because
I
of
have
rugby.
to tell you. I have to give an update. I
Yes.
know what my dilemma. I had the reason I didn't understand. Okay, so let me just take you back. I didn't understand. We are going to try. We have 4 chances to get a first down. Okay, there's a first down, second down, third down, fourth down. Those are the chances, and then you're trying to get a first down. I didn't understand why the thing you're trying to get is the first step. Like, why is the first step
First
to
down.
get? But what I didn't understand is and some besties helped me, and I got there, and there was just a moment where I go, oh my God, my logic is flawed. What I needed to be told is that you're trying to get to the next first down. That's all I needed to be told. And
Okay.
that's why we call it first down, because I knew it starts over. I know
Yeah.
that. But I didn't understand that, you're talking about the first step again. There's only one set of things, and it's first down, second down, third down, fourth down. And when they say they're trying to get first down, it's not the group, it's not a separate thing than downs. You're just trying to start over again.
Sure.
So it's like a bunch of ladders stacked on each other, and you're always trying to get to the first rung of the next ladder. And so
Okay.
that's why you call it first rung.
I mean,
Like that, it's too confusing. I'm
glad
just,
you got there.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I was there all along. Like, I understood all along. I wasn't. I knew. I didn't need to know that.
You knew
but I'm-
literally what it was, but conceptually there was some sort of mishap
Like, how do you
going on.
get there?
Yeah.
No. Again, not how do you
Wasn't
get
about-
there. It was just, why is the thing you're trying to get named the same thing as the chance? But I didn't realize we're talking about the next first chance. That's what you're trying to get. I didn't
Okay.
understand.
Yeah.
If that helps anyone.
Cyclical.
But then here's a crazy thing I did not know. And I'm so embarrassed to admit that I did not know this until, was it with you, Sean?
Yeah, I think it was on Thursday.
That was on Thursday that it
Yeah.
happened. Yeah. Brian, you witnessed this.
Oh, but I wasn't paying attention. I remember this conversation happening.
Yeah, I think
This was brutal. This was so brutal because I get it reminded me so much. And this is, again, goes back to, I can't help what I don't know. I can't help what I don't forget. It's not my fault that I didn't know this, but I really felt so much shame because I'm like, what a fucking moron. I just learned that when there's only all offense or all defense on the field, I thought there was a combination of offense and defense, much like football or much like basketball, much like hockey, that
okay, yes.
everyone's on the court at the field at the same time. So someone there was an interception, and then the other team caught it, and then he ran it, and I go, is that so and so? And I guessed running back or something.
Yeah.
And everyone goes, what? Andrew Collin was like, no, it's not the running back. And I was like, why is that so crazy that I thought it was the running back? And he's like, because he's offense. And I'm like, okay, but he could have been in that area. And he was like, what? And it was just like this moment of like, wait, why? And then someone goes, they're not on the field. And I'm like, what? But why wouldn't I think they'd be on the field unless someone told me this is different than every other kind of sport you've ever heard of?
When you were saying that at the time, it did seem like, oh, that doesn't make any sense. But now that you say it in soccer, offense, defense on the field at the same time.
I mean, basketball,
field hockey,
baseball,
basketball, they're dual threat.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that makes sense
That's why. And someone goes, well, so you think that Tom Brady's out there like when they're on defense? And I'm like, yeah, he's like in the back unless there's like an interception, then they throw it to him and then and they're like, no, that doesn't make any sense. And it made me kind of sad that like a team like offense and defense, they're on the same team and they never get to play together.
Well, then there's also special teams.
And now I knew about that.
Yeah.
But they never get to all play together.
No, never.
That's kind of sad to me. I was a little bit bummed.
And then when one goes to the sideline and they could have a conversation, the other side goes on the field and they can't.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They never really even get to know each other.
No, probably not.
Well, Patrick Mahomes said Harrison Butker he's never even talked to in his life. He was like, remember the whole Harrison Butker thing?
Yeah.
And I think Patrick Mahomes was like, I've talked to him maybe once. Like, I think that was the statement.
Yeah.
So that was a big eye-opening thing, and it reminded me. I think I like almost started crying when it happened because I was so embarrassed that like I'm, watching this game with a bunch of people who know it, and I'm feeling like I'm like when you start to feel like I got this, and then you like are like I so don't have it at all. Like it's
Dunning-Kruger.
Is that what it's called?
The Dunning-Kruger effect. Yes, you know just enough to figure out that you know nothing.
Oh my God, that's how I felt. So
or really,
much.
the Dunning-Kruger effect is when you don't realize yet. Really, if you want to get technical, But
I do have a book coming today
that
a bestie recommended me after the whole thing about the Downs last time that I was so confused. And it's called, I'm so excited because I'm going to read it so fast, I hope. Let me just look up my orders. It's arriving today. It is called Talk Sports Like a Pro. 99 Secrets in Becoming a Sports Goddess. And it's kind of geared towards women.
Wait, that sounds like my 99 how to talk to anyone. 99 Big Secrets for Little Success. Let me see the cover of the book.
It's kind of cool. It's like the Venus de Milo.
Who's the author?
Statue. It's Jean M. McCormick. Forward by ESPN sportscaster Chris Fowler.
Wow, she's really expanding. I think that's the same person.
This is your same person?
Yeah, who taught me the thing about compliments, remember?
What?
This might be. Let's find out.
I'm so excited. Thank you to the bestie who sent me that. I ordered it immediately, and it's like not that well known of a book, so it kind of took a while.
I've never heard of it, and I want to be a sports goddess.
Yeah,
you are, Sean.
I want to serve cunt on the
field. We'll be right back after this. All right. Is it the same person?
No, a different person.
Okay.
Leo Loundis.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a different person.
Well, I remember one time in French class, I had a really, really mean French teacher. Kirkwood High School, shout out. If you went to Kirkwood High School in the early 2000s, there was a teacher, I'm sure you're still around. One of the most scary people I will ever know. She was like, had the energy, Nazi guard energy.
Wow.
Like, I'm not kidding you. And I say that with, like, not even making a joke. Like, cruel.
Yeah.
Like, to call people out. Like, would never. Like, I just went into that class every day terrified that she was going to make me feel stupid and get mad at me for not knowing French. And, like, really was, like, there's a story I want to tell off air, but something. No, I can't. Let's actually bleep her name if you can. Because I don't want to get in trouble. She still scares me to this day. She is a fucking French teacher who
if you got
left.
an answer wrong, she'd hold up a picture of a dying bird.
She honestly.
It's a callback to last episode.
I remember, shout out Kate Cordy, you got busted for making fake flashcards because you would have to show her the flashcards that you made to practice vocab, and Kate did just a couple on the top and then fake ones for the rest, and she went through them and saw they were blank, and it was like one of the most like awful things to watch Kate get talked down to. And Kate was like me, like a good girl, and just maybe did the wrong thing once and like got so busted.
Wow, it's like she found out she was a Jew.
It was honestly, it was, and we all looked away because it wasn't us yet.
Yeah.
You know, eventually she would come for us, and then who would help us?
Well, how much older? Like
she was probably in her mid 30s, maybe early 30s.
Why care that much about teenagers learning French?
I think she must have been miserable. There's no way she was a happy person.
Maybe she doesn't care. She's just like a miserable bitch.
And I wanted to win over her love so much, but one day, and I was trying to do well in French 3. It was sophomore year, I think, and I had gotten through French 1 with a different teacher, or maybe I forget it. Anyway, I went in for tutoring for French 3 during our contact period, which was a free period where most people socialize, but I was like trying to get better at French. So I went in to like sit alone with this woman I'm terrified of at her desk. And she discovered that I did not know what le and la was. Like I didn't know that le and la came before a noun because I just had bad French teachers before that, or that it just didn't get through.
Mal.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense unless you specifically told it doesn't make sense. You learn the most important
stuff. That's like kind of like basic. So like you kind of skipped ahead.
I was learning like how to say typewriter and like let's go on a foot race.
Right.
And so I didn't realize like things were feminine and masculine. I just maybe missed that day of school. Like it's one day where you get told, hey, there's nouns, and unlike English, each noun has a le in front of it or a lay, or to indicate how many or what gender
and the spelling is different depending on if you're doing spelling.
Yes. So she discovered I didn't know le and la, and I remember she was so disgusted with me and just like, first I thought I was going to get kicked out of her class because it was like, honestly, it's something I should have known at that level. And she was just horrified and disgusted by me. And I'll never forget, one of the greatest things that ever happened to me was one time on a test, she wrote pas mal. Do you know what pas mal means?
Not bad.
Not bad. And it was the greatest achievement of my life that I remember thinking that was like an A++. Like that's why I remember it, because it was so amazing that like gave me not bad. That's how awful she was. And then she was, she left, or I graduated to the next level somehow. And I got Madam Kalfas, who my sister has worked with, because my sister's a Spanish teacher at Kirkwood High School. Madam Kalfas is the greatest teacher I have ever had in my entire life, that anyone could ever have in their entire life. Loved her so much. She had the best energy, like Matilda teacher energy.
Yeah.
Just like maternal, so sweet. Never shamed me about how bad I was at French. Always believed in me, to the point that I took AP French, and I should not have been in AP French, but I just wanted to be around her. I was like kind of gay for her. Like I literally was like in love with her. I loved her, and I still do. And it's so funny. I was at the Emmys last week, the Creative Arts Emmys, and a girl came up to me who was featured in a movie called Girl State that won an Emmy. It's like a documentary about women in politics or something, but this young girl was in it, and she came up to me and she goes, I know Senora Green.
Wow.
I was in Senora Green's class, and she was my sister's student, and so cute, and she was so excited, and she was like, and I know Madam Kalfas. Like this girl, I guess, took 2 languages, and she was like, and I had Madam Kalfas, and I go, oh! She goes, Madam Kalfas. We both were like, oh, Madam Kalfas. Like we were both still gay for her. Like that's how amazing this teacher was. So it's not just a French teacher thing. Like it was remarkable that I had both the worst and best teachers in the same subject. Final thought: did you guys have any really bad or good teachers?
It's amazing how some teachers really stick out as like memorable, and you wonder like, well, they have so many students. It's like meeting Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
It's like, do they actually remember?
Yeah, I never think they remember me.
And I got confirmation that one of my favorite teachers, David Dubin is his name. He was my English teacher. He remembered me because for whatever reason, my cousin was in the same house as him like 2 weeks ago. Some thing was happening. I don't know exactly what was happening, but there was some reason. And he asked about me. And he was like, I love Brian.
So
he was a great student, blah, blah, blah. And it was like...
That's so validating.
I mean, because he was one of my favorites. It was him. Yeah, he was probably my favorite teacher.
Yeah.
My favorite teacher, English and drama, Miss Filosa. I was obsessed with Miss Filosa. I was in love with Miss Filosa. We went to her wedding, and I cried, like, because I'm like, there it is, like, the only girl I'll ever love.
Oh my God. And it makes so much sense. Like, you're good at English and theater. Yeah. So I bet she was actually like,
she was the best. She was like
complimentary to you,
telling me music I would like, and I'm like,
I had a teacher give me music too. And it was a little bit like, don't be giving me CDs. But he didn't mean anything by it. But looking back, I'm like, if I wouldn't want my daughter.
Who was that?
I'm not even going to say his name because there was nothing creepy about it. No, it was in high school.
Oh?
Yeah.
No, when she gave me the CD, I'm like, please do anything you want to me. Like,
guys always fall for their female teachers.
Oh yeah, that's why Lauren.
Yeah,
when she
had
was
to
a
get out of
teacher,
school.
I was like, every boy likes, and she would just be like, "That is disgusting. I don't even want to hear it." Like,
We're like,
it doesn't even.
we
It's
know.
not even something we could joke about because it was so disgusting.
And
for her.
it's so real.
It's so real. She's way too pretty.
Yeah, you have become like
Yeah.
an inside joke for every boy who passes.
Yes,
Exactly.
Yes. I just wanted to shout out one of the funniest lines of last night that I wrote in my phone because I wanted to bring it up. Last night at the HBO party, which is one that we didn't get to today, but just briefly, it was that was the one we got to. John Oliver was there, but my mom and I ended up like investigating. We found this karaoke room. I filmed my mom dancing in this little area.
Smoove.
With JB Smoove
Oh, cool.
from Curb Your Enthusiasm, and he was dancing in there. So they were both like the only ones dancing in this room. It was really cute. And
Oh my gosh.
I love him.
Yeah, and then what did you say? What led to your line? Because I want to set this up the right way.
I think your mom was talking about how it was like, I think his wife was there, but he was making me feel like the only woman in the room.
Yeah, and then Sean goes, if I can think of anyone in an open relationship, it would be JB Smoove. I think she'll understand. It's just the perfect line because it's so true. Of anyone at that party that would be cool with like a swing. Like,
Yeah, she didn't care.
Yeah, it's someone who's with JB Smoove. That's so funny. So we got to go. Thank you so much for being here. Sean, again, it's been a pleasure. Mom, thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. So
Safe
fun.
travels back. Any
Thank
final
you.
thoughts about the weekend?
Oh God, there's so much that I just can't even explain. It's so fun.
What's the most fun?
Well, the whole thing, the fact that I got to come out here was that
You're being vague. People want
you
specifics.
gifted me this weekend.
Oh no, I'm sending a Venmo invoice.
Damn it.
We didn't talk about that,
No.
but I'll pay it. I just want you to know the number.
Could you?
Yeah,
I like to know those numbers. How much was that?
Yeah, it was so fun. You're
Thank you.
so fun, and you're always so down, and it's
Thank
so nice
you.
to have a mom who's like so with it, and is someone that you can bring to these things, and shows up looking as cute as you did, and like blends in perfectly to the whole
so
Hollywood
sweet.
scene.
You're so
it's
sweet.
so fun. So we'll
Thank
do
you.
many more because,
All right.
I'm nominated for an Emmy next year. It's crazy.
Yeah,
That
Two.
just happened.
Already.
2 Emmys.
Two Emmys.
I know. I don't like to talk about the other one, but I'm glad you brought it up. I don't want to brag too much, but yeah, 2 Emmy
amazing.
nominations
Already done.
next year, 2025. It's insane. So thank you guys so much for voting, and we'll see you then. But more podcasts next week. And yeah, don't be cool. Bye.